One is a bastard and the other's a prick. Argue over tunneling shtick. One is a shyster and the other's a bum. Maybe doesn't matter which one.
Put logos over this or something.
One is an idiot, it might be both of them. Shut up, dude.
Hello.
Well, Helvis.
Jizzy McKnight.
The big 1-0, you say?
We made the big 1-0.
Wow.
You're allowed to have someone stay over now.
They said it couldn't be done.
But we did it.
Yes.
It's very weird that this is the 10th episode and we haven't even begun to hit any bottom of tunnels.
Yeah. It stayed interesting the whole time.
Yeah, if anything got worse.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, it's got even cooler.
I've been thinking more and more about that Arnold Dix guy and like how to phrase what I email him to be like, dude, we're not engineers. We're just caught the bug, bro, and you're the guy. Can we please talk to you?
Please. We'll just figure out how to do it on Zoom. Because it would be so fucking cool.
That would be pretty sick.
Talking to actual tunnel experts.
Yeah.
Did you see, you know how we've talked about CERN in the past?
Yes, sir.
The particle collider or whatever it is?
Yeah, man.
Did you see all the overlap with the eclipse?
What overlap with the eclipse?
Oh, apparently they were firing it back up on April 8th or whatever of the day the eclipse was. And yeah, all the freaked out tinfoil hat people were fucking losing their mind. It was really funny.
Now this seems like a conspiracy thing, but honestly, this is a tunnel thing.
Yeah,
because sections 2 and 3 of the Large Hadron Collider tunnels are built through Jura limestone. We're getting early tunnel talk this week, folks. Jura limestone, which is like
this subject covers lots though, because I found it real interesting that the people were concerned, like, oh, they're turning it on, it's going to start a dimensional shift, and like using words, but in ways that you know that's not how the words get said. Like scientists don't say those words like that.
Right.
Like I guess one way was, one dumb way that it was said was it's going to start the rapture.
Okay, and that's not very scientific.
At all. But when they're like, it's going to push us into a dimension that we've never been in, and rah-de-rah, all this shit, and it finishes with some weird Christian bullshit.
It'll be like Matthew 3:16 or something, bro. No, that might be
Statue of Liberty gets struck by lightning, then an earthquake, and an eclipse.
Sure.
So our doom cult buddies were fucking rubbing their nipples watching the news, bro.
Yeah.
These cunts were right.
Just watching a live feed of the Lady of Liberty.
Bro, and it's real funny. Like, oh my God, it got struck by lightning. Yeah, probably. I'm not surprised. Like,
yeah, it's the tallest thing in the area, right?
But even, you know, like, lightning never strikes the same place twice.
Yeah, it does.
Lightning rod.
Yeah, it strikes the same place
all the time.
Yeah,
you can make a thing, and
it's arcing between the sky and the earth. So if there's a point that's like favorable for it to,
see, this is where you're wrong. Jesus is coming back, and he's pissed off, and he's gonna fuck us up.
I'm an idiot,
aren't we all? Except for these hardcore American Christians who are like, "Hey, man, there's like 200 billion cicadas about to come up for the first time in 200 years."
Yeah,
and someone else is like, "No, it happens every 17 years. They get born underground."
Depends on the cicadas.
Yeah, and then there's a gestation period, but it's not every 200 years.
No,
they just hear bugs and instantly associate Bible like it's a plague, and then earthquake.
Yeah, sure, that's fine.
Oh no, then Statue of Liberty.
Bro, it's because they want it so
that's
bad.
What I'm saying.
They want it so bad.
But then you sit there and it's like, okay, so when's it happen? And they're like, the eclipse. And then the eclipse happens, and we still have to go to work. And that guy that said all that stuff doesn't get anything.
Does he get his ass kicked or nothing?
He should. You should get put in the stocks for that.
Yeah,
like
bro.
If you put all your
with
chips
vegetables like it's the Middle Ages.
If you put your philosophical chips, all of them on the table, like telling you, bro, 22nd of June, 23rd of June, it's like, well, Jared, into the stocks, bro. Like, 2 days bro. Just in the middle of the town while they throw fruit at you.
Turns out you can just adjust your beliefs and start a Weet-Bix company, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Totally fine.
Totally fine. But I just love the idea of like, hey, check out this amazing natural phenomenon that happened, and someone's just straight away like, oh, that's because the apocalypse is coming, and this is because of the gays, and like just that's why I love it.
It's the same
like,
thing.
It just gets so like they hijack anything.
Yeah.
And then they like had their trifecta, like the oh shit, earthquake, lightning, and a plague of bugs.
Yeah, it's got to be happening now. It's this time, right? But it's like a dude who can't get laid. He's going to the bar, and a girl approaches him, and she's like, "Hey, do you want to buy me and my friend a drink?" And he's like, "It's fucking happening! It's happening for me. I knew if I stayed the course."
And that chick's like, "Okay,
yeah," and she takes the drinks and she goes. Yes, she goes and dances with somebody else, and he's like, I'll get him next time.
I don't know what I did wrong.
Yeah.
It's just that's one of my news things was just, oh yeah, eclipse, CERN turning on, earthquakes, cicadas. Oh yeah, these Republican fellas are losing their shit to this. So they're loving it.
They lose weeks in CERN all the time because they have to maintain these tunnels. It's incredibly sensitive equipment. It can't be getting damp. It can't be having stuff falling around it.
What about the software thing? Or this hardware thing, I'm not sure how they're defining it, but there's a few reports coming out of CERN that there's like some weird ghost in the computer, and these fellas full on reckon that something is, and because these guys made a tunnel that can miss by 1 centimeter.
I guarantee you, the nerds running CERN, if they've said there's a ghost in the machine, that's a turn of phrase among computer engineering nerds.
Yeah,
There's not a real ghost.
No,
right?
These fellas are saying it's a real ghost.
The nerds are not saying it's a real ghost.
They are.
Shut the fuck up. They are absolutely not.
We can check
the
this.
The nerds do not think there's a ghost.
When we check this?
I'm not. This will not stand, bro.
It's all good. I'm not the one besmirching tunnels with ghosts here.
The nerds don't think there's ghosts.
Well, there's how many nerds are there?
In fact, they know there's not. At CERN, they're all nerds.
Yeah, well,
there'll be hundreds
some
of them,
nerds
bro.
like fucking Pokemon, and some good nerds
they don't
like,
think Pokemon are real. That's the major.
But there's some crazy. Like, come on, bro. Out of 100 people, one of them is a fucking idiot. I don't care if you're all scientists.
Okay, so one idiot
might be the guy that got interviewed
says there might be a ghost.
Yeah, and he's been told, hey, there might be a ghost in the machine. We'll work this out on Monday. And in his brain, he's driven home being like, ghosts are real, ghosts are real, ghosts. Like it could be a fuckwit.
They're gonna kick that if any of this is real.
Yep,
they're gonna kick this guy out.
Yeah, bro.
We're serious people, bro. We don't believe in ghosts.
I'm aware. It's just hilarious that it's like the coolest. This is what I mean.
I think this is an AI Joe Rogan TikTok thing. I think.
I will fucking find
out.
Yo,
fact checking me, real time.
I just want to see what the fuck it was and who said it, because there was a few things that came up that made me be like, what? This is going to piss him off so badly.
It's not real. It would bother me, but there's no way, dude.
Let me see.
There's some other stuff we could talk about while you find your answers.
Oh, and I found it. New research published in the journal Nature Physics. Scientists at CERN in Switzerland announced that they had isolated a resonant ghost that affects how particles behave inside the superproton synchrotron.
Right.
Yeah.
A resonant ghost.
Yeah. But this is what I'm saying.
Like a peculiarity.
So read
that. I actually read this article.
Yeah, so you fucking know what I'm talking about and still
I didn't until you said it was a resonant ghost. I'm like, yeah, actually I did hear about this.
So I'm saying these cunts have said there's a ghost, and the idiot...
Why did you let me think it was like a spiritual ghost?
Because I'm talking to you about how these idiots keep looking at news and associating it to the doom apocalypse that they all want.
Oh, yeah.
See what I'm saying?
That's kind of what I did.
Yeah, so they explain, hey, we've got this, and they use the word ghost, and it turns into fellas being like, they've let a demon through the portal, and it's fucking... Yeah. And it's, no, read the fucking thing.
Yeah.
So
it's what I said first, though, which is that it's like an engineering term for like a bug or a flaw in the machine.
Yeah, and I'm saying there's people advertising it and reporting it that it's different. Because they're bending it to what they want it to be.
How
you were saying.
They want the end of the world, Elvis.
You were saying these fellas are willing it. They want it, anything.
Yeah.
And it's like, to this level is what I'm telling you, is why it's funny.
All right. That's some interesting tangential...
That's what I'm saying.
Sort of straddles the line between news and tunnel talk, doesn't it?
CERN's everything. It's conspiracies, tunnel talk, fucking crazy shit, nerds doing cool shit. It's heaps of stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty hard out.
Have you got any news?
I got a couple bits of news, bro. I don't know if it'll be interesting to talk about. Trust in the media has declined to an all-time low.
To the point that newshub's gone.
How do you feel about that? How do you feel about like the whole thing?
Well, I don't know. Probably shouldn't have like one of our national news what do you call it? Facilities owned by Warner Brothers.
Yeah, I feel that same way, bro.
Seems pretty cut and dry.
A faceless conglomerate bought it and it's not doing well and they shut it?
Yeah, weird. Yeah. Hey, you guys don't watch superhero movies, eh? These cunts pump those out and they fail all the time. Yeah. And you know what they do when they fail?
They make more of them because it's some kind of weird scam.
Nah, those ones are they work apparently.
Except when they do, but they also do it in reverse, where they'll make a whole superhero movie and then write it off the books because it makes more financial sense than releasing it. Like, what?
You do.
I don't know exactly what you guys are up to, but I smell fuckery.
Bro. That's why if you ever think about the pirating movies thing being a big deal and getting in trouble, and there was that ad. When you put on a DVD,
you wouldn't download a car.
You know that music was stolen, and the guy that wrote it took them to court and won. Yeah.
Goddamn hypocrites everywhere. I mean, I don't know if it's interesting to talk about, but I did see what's her face, DePussy Allen, the News Talk ZB. I think
Hannah.
Hannah DePussy Allen. She was doing like a
Hannah
victory.
Pistorius.
Yeah, something like that. She was doing like a victory lap, like, "Ooh, trust in the media's down."
Yeah,
a lot of people are saying it's because it's too biased.
It's like,
dude, why do you think it's not you doing this?
Yeah,
but I found this fucking insane.
I thought it was very interesting. I saw that little thing she did, and I thought the same thing of like, it's like being a cop standing outside of a school shooting, being like, "Oh, turns out they need us."
Yeah,
like,
bro.
And so, where the fuck were you? You're part of the reason this has happened.
Yeah. But I saw this this Curia market research poll. Right, check this shit out. So that it asks people, do you think the media is biased? Specifically, do you think, for instance, RNZ is biased? If so, are they strongly biased to the left, a little bit biased left, centrist, a little bit biased right, fully biased right? Okay, New Zealand Herald. I mean, if I'm reading this right, 21% of people consider the New Zealand Herald to lean either somewhat left or strongly left. That's the same amount of people who
what? The Herald.
Look at this graph. Yes, people think the Herald has a left-leaning bias. Like 1 in 5 people think the preeminent conservative publication in our country.
Yeah, hang on.
But look at this. The same amount of people think that Radio New Zealand has a
see, this is what happens when you take statistics from people who are willing to do polls.
No, it's because nobody understands the media. People are fucking illiterate in this.
But that's
sense.
what I'm meaning. If somebody rang you and wanted you to do that survey, would you do it?
Yeah, I would.
Oh, okay, that backfired. I would say no.
No, I take those surveys. Like when I get value out of something, especially a public
most
good.
Smart people are doing other stuff and won't do that.
I will take time. If somebody calls me and goes, "Tell me about your radio listening habits," I go, "Hell yeah, dude! What do you want to know?" Yes, I listen to public radio.
You realise most of the people that would say yes are fucking gormless dickwads.
Yeah, maybe.
Like
that's why it's even more important to
be the king of the gormless dickwads, bro. Is that you just?
That's not how I would have phrased it. No.
That's how I'm gonna.
I did think it was interesting that.
I don't know. Sorry, you just said if somebody rang you and was like, "Hey, do you want to take the survey on your radio listening habits?"
12% of people think that the platform has a either somewhat left or strongly left bias.
See, they don't know what's going on.
It doesn't fucking... No. Never convince these people.
No, that doesn't
this is why trust in the media is low. It's because people have no fucking idea what's going on.
Yeah, it's because they keep showing polls taken by fucking clowns.
The poll isn't the problem.
No, I don't know, bro. There's too much of a weird thing with the news. Like, I think we've talked about it before. The schizophrenic nature in which it's told to you. When it's like, oh, the suicide bombing happening in Yemen today and 12 died. And then the next second it's like, and up next we have Carol with sports. And it's that thing. Like, over time, people are going, why the fuck am I watching this? This is crazy. I'm going to watch anything the fuck else I want.
Yeah.
And because you can now. Like, think about the idea of, like, having to watch the news at 6 o'clock, because if you either read the paper or watched the news, if you didn't do those things, you didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
So you had to be there at 6 o'clock every fucking day.
Sure.
Yeah, and then, I don't know, X amount of years ago, you didn't have to do that anymore. You can get news whenever the fuck you want, 24 fucking 7. So it's like how you used to have a point where you were uncontactable. We all did. Humans did.
Okay.
Like, you could not be reached.
Right.
And now that doesn't really happen. You can pretty much always have someone call you. So we have
you can throw your phone away. Like,
yeah, you have to. But so we have a different effect to that contact with humans. Like, people get bitchy. Like, why didn't you text me back? And say, because I got fucking 30 texts. So you think of these different habits. Like, why is trust in the media declined? Because it seems to be bullshit. And I can look up 3 other sources and determine out of the 3 common grounds and see if that works.
Yeah, so you can do that.
Yeah, but I think that's more common than people who would say any of the things that graph represents. I think most people go on their own shit. And maybe they don't even go and look up 3. They just go on their own shit. So they're not watching it at 6 o'clock. What are you doing at 6 o'clock? Anything the fuck else than eating my dinner and sitting down and watching it or you know what I'm meaning? It's the dynamics changed.
I do.
Yeah.
Look, honestly, I have a lot to say on the subject, but it's probably boring, so I want to move on.
Let's just make fun of you for saying it.
But I do just want to say, they are the only people watching the politicians.
Kinda.
They're the only ones doing it as journalists. They're the only ones doing it.
But, like, do you know any, like, social media influencers that are only doing politics? Because there's fucking heaps, and they're huge in New Zealand.
No, I don't.
Yeah, there's heaps now. Like,
okay.
But
that makes them journalists.
Yeah. And
right.
That's why the journalists that we're getting paid to get told what to say aren't getting listened to as much.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it's like a Joe Rogan thing. Idiots think he's the news.
If you replace all the current journalists with a new batch of journalists,
yep,
what problem does that solve?
Nothing, except these journalists don't have editors or backing.
Right, so they couldn't possibly... Yeah, man.
I'm not defending it, I'm just saying that's what it is.
Yeah.
I think the dynamics changed from when they were important. When everybody had to sit down at 6 o'clock and watch the news and listen... Or stay up till 10:30 when they did the Nightline one, you know, and then at 7 o'clock is the fucking weird dude doing a talk show, doing a special interest piece like Campbell or Holmes.
Yes.
Those were all very common. That was the fucking dynamic of the home for ages, that people would get their dinner and sit down at 6 o'clock to watch the news. And
I remember how things was.
Yeah, and now most people don't give 2 shits about that, so that's gone. Most people's TVs allow them to plug Netflix and Disney Plus and YouTube and whatever the fuck else you want straight in front of you. You don't even have to get up and go on your laptop. You can just do it all from a remote. So, of course, the news is just gone. It's like a tradition that died.
No, not the news, journalism.
Yeah. That's unfortunately, it's that version of journalism. Because there's still heaps out there. There is. I mean, it's evolving, and that's all fine. And maybe that's a mistake of the survey, like asking people, like, do you know, what is your faith in the media and these organized platforms? Yeah, if you're cross-checking sources, it's like a mechanic, bro. If a mechanic gives you a price that you're not sure about, you could take it to another mechanic and go, yo, but
how much to do this?
Why did it get sold to fucking Warner Brothers?
Because it's a private company. They sell it when they get the right offer.
So we should probably have something else put forward by, I don't know, the government. Give us 2 channels or 2 news networks. Yeah. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not even really decrying the idea that newshub shut down. I think that's market forces at work. I think there's value in journalism, but it kind of rubbed me up the wrong way when I see people doing victory laps. Like, good, there's fewer people. What? Watching the politicians? I fucking want them doing that.
That person who was doing the victory lap has a vested interest in that.
Yeah.
And I think it's more not even like she hasn't invested money in monetary.
Maybe-
I think she just wants to win.
Yeah.
She could never come back and say she was wrong after the shit she said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, maybe the root of my problem is I don't like the idea when people want to destroy something when they don't know what they're replacing it with. Maybe that's the root of my problem.
I get you.
But we could move on. There's other news to talk about.
I had what was my one? What's that young Māori boy on the news? Jack Tame?
Yeah, bro, it's Jack Tame.
That's a me.
Yeah, bro.
Jack Tame.
Yeah, Tame.
That's
yeah,
how you pronounce it. I've never heard that Māori last name, but he's a cousin, He interviewed Brooke Van, whatever the fuck, and about I can't even remember what it was about. I didn't write that part down.
I think they are. I think they debated the value of a human life.
No, it was her saying they're implementing this 90-day whatever it is they're doing because she's been getting calls from businesses.
Yeah.
And
Oh, good.
Mr. Tame.
We like the private sector to work hand in glove with the government. Yeah.
He was just like, wait a minute, that's not backed on anything. And she's like, and it was just this train wreck of an interview, bro. And he
is good at that.
I think he's quite good at it.
Is good.
Yeah. I just thought it was funny that she just looked like a fuckwit.
Yeah. He makes a lot of people look like fuckwits, honestly.
Yeah. What about Uncle Winnie? Goes over to the fucking UN and delivers a speech that I don't think he told the others he was telling them,
He won't be telling them shit about what he's up
he's
to.
the man, but
it's hard, like, hating him and then sometimes being like, fucking got him,
he's like, because he's like family. He's like, this motherfucker. And then you go to the next event and you're like, fuck, is he here? I'm going to go steal one of his smokes. Yeah, he's that guy. But, Mr. No Kids telling everyone what to do with their kids.
Who's Mr. No Kids in this instance?
Seymour.
Oh, Seymour.
Seymour. Yeah, that guy. David. Old Dave.
Yeah.
Nah, he's telling people if your kid's sick, he reckons,
send him.
Sometimes they can go to school. It's okay.
Yeah.
But he's got no kids. So shut up. That's like a priest telling people talking about sex. So you don't play the game, bro. You don't make the rules.
Yeah.
But isn't Mr. Seymour the guy that was telling everyone that the government shouldn't be interfering? Like no nanny state shit?
That's all this. Yes, it doesn't matter what he said before he was in office, bro. These cunts drive me crazy. Do you know what fucking really bothers me is for a little while I feel like I got conservatism. I don't think I ever became conservative, but at a certain point I was like, all these guys are doing is like, hey, where's my fucking money? You guys hold me basically at gunpoint. If I don't pay my taxes, somebody with guns show up, right? You take my fucking money and you're spending it on a bunch of bullshit. Mm-hmm. Where's my fucking money?
Yep.
Where is it?
It makes sense.
Bro, that part of it I got, but you get a conservative government and all they do is culture war shit. It's maddening.
Yeah, in the same way that the guys who are like, hey, everyone has to be nice, are cunts.
No, yeah, bro. No, we don't have to be nice.
But
Stop saying that.
That's the thing, though. It's the thing of like, hey, we're just here to get businesses going. We want the economy back, and we think we can get everything to go.
Yeah.
But I don't like those toilets, and I don't like those libraries with the guys in the heels. And you're like, why are we talking about this shit?
At a certain point, it's become about hurting the people you don't like.
But then, on the other side, it's like, why can't we all just be kind? No, you can't go to your grandfather's funeral.
Like, bro. Yeah. Some of that too.
Careful who you hate.
Yeah, bro.
You'll turn into them.
I hear you,
bro. You want to have a break?
Yeah, there's one more piece of news that we could talk about, and I've got a stinger for it, so we could pop that in.
Okay, I've got one more then.
Oh, do you want to hit that first?
I want to do this before we have a break, and we'll come back in with a stinger.
Sounds good.
So, this was passed on by my partner, and she's just like, I think you'll like this. It's not tunnel, but it is a cool story that I think you two will appreciate the chaotic nature of.
Okay.
So there's this young boy, I'll call him Octo Boy, and he just loves octopus. He thinks they're awesome. So his family are like, hey, let's get this fella an octopus.
Real boy or fictional
Real
story?
boy.
Okay.
This is a real story.
All
I think it's in America somewhere. But anyway, they get this fella a tank, and they get him an octopus.
Yes.
And it lays like 50 eggs. And they ring the aquarium like, hey, this happened. And they're like, oh,
yeah, they do that.
That means they're probably going to die. That's unfortunate. Don't worry, though. The eggs probably aren't fertilized. So they're just there. Well, week later, 50 octopuses hatch.
Hell yeah.
And they ring like the one dude in the state or some shit, or it might even be in the country, I don't know. This one guy who like has this massive octopus thing, and they're like, "Hey, do you want 50 octopuses?" And he's like,
He
"No."
was like octopi, and no.
No, I don't. Sorry, I can't take that. So turns out that baby octopi are instantly, as soon as they see each other, they'll fight to the death.
Yeah, to eat each other.
Yeah. So this family's had to create like 50 separate...
No, they didn't have to do that.
But they have. But this is where it's genius.
They're prisoners of their own poor decision-making, I would say.
No, because if you film it and put it on a social media platform...
You got a 50-feet octocam?
Yeah, and now you've got a fucking great idea and a great name, and you're making money because TikToktopus rolls straight off the tongue.
Okay, they got me at the end there.
Thought so. We'll be back.
Let's hear it. Let's hear a stinger.
Oh. There we go.
Okay, here we come. I've made a stinger. Because we changed our clocks, we decided it's a different time than it is, and I wanted to make a musical stinger that kind of encapsulated how that made me feel emotionally. I'm trying to represent the way I feel about it. Let's have a listen. See what you think. We changed time. Why did we change time? Seriously, there's nothing else you could have changed. Daylight savings, guys.
I see.
The older I get, the less sense it makes to me that we change time. I've never understood it, and just the older I get, the more I'm like, really, that was your solution to this problem?
Yeah. It does throw everyone out.
Yes, I have some stats on that.
Yeah.
Well, changing the clocks is associated with negative well-being impacts beyond sleepiness.
What is the point of doing it?
Daylight savings?
Yeah.
It's to give people more daylight hours to do things outside of their normal work hours.
Oh, that's
so
true.
rather than change in a few months of the year what we consider normal work hours, we change time. It is insane. It's never made any sense to me. So beyond just being more sleepy, you have an increased risk of being hospitalized for ischemic stroke. There is an increased heart attack risk. There are more traffic accidents. It's worth noting that often the daylight savings happens on like Easter weekend or whatever. So
it might be an overlap.
Yeah. But other stuff really does happen. We changed. Am I insane? Like I feel like everybody's used to it. But
it's all,
you could just as easily go, okay, between the months of X and X, you start work at 6 instead of 9.
Well, they've obviously worked out that was way harder.
Yeah, they worked it out, or they were just like, suck it up and change your fucking clock. It's a different time now. What if something occurs at 2:30 in the morning on that day?
Like what? Like
crime or something that you have to write down.
Then you put it in brackets. I don't know.
Yeah, so brackets. It was both 2:30 and 1:30 when it occurred.
Yeah, bro.
See, that's we don't need these problems though.
My missus is like, oh, it's 7:30. Oh, no, it's actually 8:30.
Kind of. Yeah.
It's actually 6.
Yeah.
I'm like, fucking.
Time is only a constraining construct in that we measure it, except sometimes we just pull an hour out. Why do we do that?
Because, bro, if you go to Rarotonga, they don't even have clocks.
That's fine. I like that
cool.
better.
That's how they should do it.
I like that.
Hey, why don't you just show up at this? Daylight, come here.
Yeah, about lunchtime.
Nighttime, go home. Like, yeah, easier. But, no, if you think of the whole concept of it, like you saying, take an hour out or whatever.
Yeah.
Like the first dude to like draw a circle. He's like, hey, I'm going to like divide the day up. It's like, oh, how are you going to do that? It's like, oh, well, these blocks.
Yeah.
Oh, there'll be 10 of them, right?
Nah. Oh, no.
I'm going to do 12 twice.
Like, yeah.
Huh? It's like, yeah, 12 twice. But it's actually split by minutes. And then there's 60 of them in one of the blocks. but there's also 60 of another thing inside one of the minutes.
Yes, sir.
And you'd be like, who the fuck let this cunt design this? And you're like, but like, I remember getting like, I think I was tripping with one of our friends. Oh, Johnny Appleseed. And we woke up in the morning and I was like, bro, we're getting picked up at 10:30. You got to get your shit together. And I remember him looking at a clock and being like, you can't like put 2 sticks in positions in a circle and be like, you have to be here. I was like, yeah, no, they can. That's exactly how that works.
All the time.
That's exactly how what you've just described works. Those 2 sticks are just going to go forever.
Yeah.
And you have
Until
to
we had clocks, that was the only way they could do it.
And you have to have places, parts of the configurations of the sticks indicate where you have to be sometime.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I don't live my life by a circle. It's that fair call, but I don't know what to tell you. Get in the car. Yeah, he's a good one. But I understand your grievance. Like, people get all fucked up with it.
It's another one of those things that's not really a grievance. It's just baffling. Like, we really do that.
Are you one of those people who
just
can
change
lie
all the
down and go to
clocks.
sleep? Like, are you a psychopath or are you a normal
No, I
person?
can't lie down and go to sleep.
Yeah, bro, I can't sleep like at all. Like I'm shit at it. It's probably the thing I'm the worst at. I just can't.
Some
do it.
days the thing I want most in the world is a nap, and I basically have never been able to do it. Maybe once in my life I've had a successful nap.
I have to stay up for 2 days, and like I'll stay up full like 24 hours, and by like hour 30 I can have a nap.
Yeah,
but then I'm awake for another fucking 30 hours. It's like I hate it. I can't do. I've tried all sorts of shit, but yeah, I don't know. That sort of makes time just like irrelevant.
Yes.
Just, whatever.
But to the degree that we can use it to understand the passage of time of our lives, and we measure it, and we just randomly go like, no, we're doing 2 a.m. again. Well, not even randomly.
You're going to get real fucked up when you fly to Aussie and it's 3 hours out.
No, that makes perfect sense.
What about if you fly there 3 hours out and it's daylight savings here, but it's not daylight savings there?
Then you fly there 2 hours out, or
different from the last time you went.
Yes, it is. Yeah,
not change. How are we ever going to deal with change, Jizzy?
It's not that, Elvis, and you fucking know it. I can't believe that somebody had the audacity to be like, yo, they're too dog shit stupid to understand the idea that we change operating hours of businesses. Change time.
Yeah. It's pretty confident.
It's yeah. And again, in a way, I kind of respect it.
Yeah.
But it drives me crazy that we do it. That's enough time on time. Do you have any more news or feedback, or what do you want to talk about before, you know?
Not really. I think it was just... I was just laughing at the rapture, but we talked about it earlier.
Yeah.
Like just how hard out people... Like, did you see the Arizona congressman or senator or something has brought forward an abortion law that was first introduced in 1863?
Yeah, I did see that.
Do you know what they did an hour before Congress gathered in their hall?
I don't know, they all got abortions?
Nah, bro, they all got on the floor of Congress and did a prayer circle, but they all speak in tongues.
Oh, yo!
So it's just 6, 7 white people on the floor of Congress.
That's that separation of church and state, is it wasn't them, it was the spirit inside them.
Yeah. It can't be your fault if God used you as a puppet. Yeah. Oh, just fuck the balls.
I saw a video of Marjorie
balls,
Taylor
like,
Greene. You know that lady, Marjorie Taylor Greene in the US?
That's my favorite Biden meme.
Saw
that lady.
She took a video of herself doing like...
doing pull-ups?
Yeah, doing pull-ups in the wildest way you can imagine, bro. Like
you have to say it with a question mark. Like
yeah, doing pull-ups?
Doing pull-ups?
Maybe they were pull-ups. Yeah, like thrashing her body around.
Pull-ups.
But she added an animation of the Holy Spirit, like making her be able to lift. It's like... You know, make it a little stronger.
That bitch got fucking punked by Biden. Remember the... Oh,
yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Boy, I bet that eats her alive. I bet she's like, while she's working out, it's just, fucking Biden! That old man! Yeah, Sleepy Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about... Oh, did you see the shit about his daughter's diary?
Whose? Biden's?
Biden's daughter's diary.
That was years ago, right? Well, somebody got in trouble for having it.
She's recently said that it is hers.
Yeah, sure.
And she wants it back.
Yeah.
But the person who has it is like said, hey, I found this. I just wanted to know whose it was. I found it. And now she's getting taken for theft of property.
Yeah.
But it's like, hey, hang on a minute. And yeah, so no one's acknowledging what's written in that diary, but the fact that a lady found it means that they can arrest her for stealing.
Can I ask you something?
What's that?
Are there any pictures of Joseph Robinette Biden?
Are there
With
any
Ghislaine
pictures
Maxwell.
of you and Ghislaine Maxwell? Should we know?
But
I don't know. I've never seen any. I bet there are.
probably, bro. Yeah. Because
Her diary said weird stuff, but it didn't say she was abused. It said she had a shower with him. But the
Yeah,
age,
but like at
the age she
14,
would.
yeah.
No, I don't know if it was 14. I thought it was way younger. But
there's not many 8-year-olds with
there's
a diary.
there's a window of time that opens where it's not acceptable to have a shower with your granddaughter. Like
It's not his granddaughter, it's his daughter,
Okay, his
isn't
daughter
it?
then.
It's Hunter's sister.
oh yeah, I don't know. No, I
And
thought
he's a great guy.
who Hunter.
Yeah, he seems normal. Yes.
I mean, anybody who starts filming themselves as soon as the crack and hookers show up, again, that's not a move I would make, but at a certain level, I do. I kind of
like
love
I'd
it.
probably put up a video that you could be like, what the fuck? And it's like, oh, hookers and crack. And you'd be like, oh, yeah, now I get it.
Yeah, bro.
But to start it, hey, like, hey, gonna take this quick selfie.
Bro, there's a video of him driving his Porsche to Las Vegas at 180 miles an hour while smoking crack.
Just
and he's
somewhere
taking the
around
selfie.
Barstow, bro, when
He's
the
taking
truck started to take off.
Yes, and he's taking it,
Dun, dun,
but he's
dun,
videoing,
dun.
he's videoing the whole thing, and it's out there. Oh my god!
Yeah, bro, it's like
What would you do if your dad was just?
Boy, that's what I was going to say. It's like Game of Thrones, though. Eh? It's like, do you know who my father is?
Yeah, you
but,
might.
But
I'm not saying you'd go out and kill anybody, but maybe a few hookers, smoking crack, driving a Porsche 180 miles an hour.
Bro, George Bush Jr. got done for drink driving and cocaine, 2 separate incidents.
Yeah.
And when he owned a baseball team, he traded Sammy Sosa.
No, I don't know who that is.
Oh, he's a legend, but it's like getting rid of Jonah Lomu. Yeah. That guy, yeah. His dad is the head of the CIA. Oh, and you remember we brought up once
This,
the terrorists have to be stopped. Now watch me crush this drive. I did some checking. No, that's legit. There is no cut.
Okay.
He did say it like that. But I think it was because
Okay.
they followed him for the whole game and he was sort of putting a shine on at that
he
point.
was kind of notoriously friendly with journalists. Like,
That's because he's retarded.
yeah, kind of. But you lost the country when you made the head of the CIA the president. Like the guys who get the black budget who
I'm
get
talking
to
about Junior.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm saying they already lost it, and then they made his son the president. Like you guys are so many steps past. But Junior used to, like, he was friendly with the press. Like he'd come and talk to them and be like, "Hey, I don't appreciate what you wrote about me,
Seen
but
that-
I respect what you guys
Seen
do."
that video where that dude threw the shoe at him
Yeah,
and he ducks it and he's like, miss me. That's so great. Like he fully steps it. Like
yeah.
like he's ready to go. Throw the other one. Like,
God, I played beer pong for years.
yeah. And there was another guy, I can't remember the nationality, but he threw a grenade at him, and it faltered.
What?
Yeah, it just didn't work.
What the fuck?
Yeah, pulled the pin and everything.
I heard about the shoe thing. Why did I not hear about the grenade thing?
Because, I don't know, it would probably indicate that it's quite easy to get close enough to throw a grenade at the president.
I guess it is. Yeah.
It's like, you know, Bill Bailey, and he famously was like, on your list of things to do, your bucket list.
Yeah.
Don't put things like climb a mountain. You should have wild things like lunge erratically at the Pope. And then a year later, that guy got arrested for lunging erratically at the Pope.
God, I love Bill Bailey.
Oh. No, I don't know. If your dad's president, you're probably going to do some fucked up shit. But how they can just then put you in that
They
job?
didn't make you the president.
Have you seen
They're just
Barry
hanging
Trump?
out. Not lately.
Fuck, he's like 6'8".
Yeah, true.
He's
bro.
a big cunt.
He's getting
probably
the good
not 8,
stuff.
he's 6'2". Yeah, eating all the stem cells for breakfast, bro. That guy.
Yeah.
And bro, I can't wait to see what they do with him. I hope he breaks free and ends up with like some TikTok dreadlock white girl or some shit. Yeah.
That's the opposite
Yeah.
of breaking free, Elvis.
No, he breaks free from his dad wanting him to be the next president and all that. You know that's what they're going to line up.
I don't. Well, all the other children are totally unlikable. So.
Yeah, but this is Melania's kid, so you know he listens.
Yeah?
That was ratchet, but yeah. Fuck, she must have had the weirdest ride, eh? Like, I get paid on cocaine to stand in leather bikinis. And then it's like, oh, you need to stand in front of all these kids now. She's like, no, I don't.
Yeah. I mean, when you're... She's a model, right? Like a beauty pageant model.
Glamour model.
Yeah,
like, yeah.
Well, the winning for those
like
guys
an
is...
FHM model. Not a porn star, but yeah.
I'm not in that position, so I can't say this for sure, but I feel like the point of that is marrying the richest guy you possibly can.
Yeah, that's how you get out of Slovakia.
Okay, yeah. So she won. Like, she's fine.
But that's what I'm saying. If you're like, I just want to stop being the models with the people taking the photos, I'll find the hottest, most, maybe the richest, okay, this guy. And then it's like, oh, I'm running for president. And she's like, do what you want, McDonald's man. You make everything fun. Keep lights on. And then it's like, oh yeah, hey, I won. And she's like, you fucking what? And she's got to go from like sitting around her house just covered in cocaine to being like, wait, I've got to what?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got to stand next to Michelle Obama.
I have to live here
and
in
talk
shithole.
about, yeah. You bring me to a house made of white. I already live in a house full of white. I just think it's so funny. That's got to be like the, oh my God, it's got to work. I'm out. Yes, this is so much worse. We're lucky as that she didn't just go psycho, eh? Just poisons him and like takes over like a Bond villain.
I think to the extent that I look at American politics and enjoy it as a story, I think it'd be pretty dope.
I reckon Zombie Lincoln, eh? That's who they need. Just bring him back. Because, like, there's that famous thing on the internet about how he wasn't actually, like, a real good guy. Like
Zombie Lincoln?
No, normal Lincoln.
Oh, regular Lincoln.
Yeah, regular Lincoln. Zombie Lincoln's awesome. Fuck, why would you besmirch his name? No, regular Lincoln. He was like a wrestler. So, and undefeated and a dick about it.
He became a lawyer through sheer will.
Yeah, but a dick about it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, I think we should do this. And they're like, oh, well, what about? And he's like, like he's the meathead dude. Like, bro, hey, why don't you shut up?
They used to be hardcore, bro, especially those guys.
What's the other one? The dude that got shot? Roosevelt?
Roosevelt got shot and finished his speech. Yeah, bro. There's another guy, Andrew Jackson. Andrew Jackson used to duel people, and they made it illegal to duel in D.C., so he would be like, I'll fucking kill you, and he'd put them in a carriage and drive them the next state over and duel them and come back like, one less fucking vote for you guys, right?
Yeah, gangster. That's real. And he was like, wasn't he like 19? Or 20
Jackson when he came in, I'm not sure, but he hated the idea of money, like banknotes and stuff, and he's on the 20, like as a fuck you to him.
See,
Lincoln,
these kinds of demons.
Yeah, I love how Lincoln freed the slaves right as it became economically convenient to do it. That's my favorite thing about him.
There's heaps of stuff recorded of him being like, we should have never brought them here and stuff. Like,
I don't know.
Why do we trust them in our homes?
Yeah.
Like, whoa, and then it suddenly the wind changed, and he's like, well, you see, we shouldn't have been such dicks.
I mean, it's incredibly complicated, but usually the money is a huge goddamn factor.
White people are evil, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, this guy would be awesome in my field, and then you're like, uh-oh, there's too many in my field. Better light this cross on fire. Keep them scared. That's a ratchet concept, but you can't really be like, oh, it's quite technical. Is it?
No, not technical. Just like
elaborate.
No, with Abraham Lincoln freeing the slaves, that's part to do with the risk of war, like whether he does it, like does he want to get reelected? How much does he care about what's happening in his country, and is it economically viable? Doing? Like, yeah, we just invented machines. That means we don't need these guys. We've decided that they're human beings. Actually, just now. That's
why it was funny with what we were talking about last time with Putin unboxing the Black Jesus thing.
The unboxing, bro. That's so good, eh?
Just the way
I'm working on a stinger.
The way he turned it, like he didn't know.
Yeah.
It's like your dad showing you a present that he opened. Like, thanks, man. I'm stoked you bought me a PlayStation.
Yeah. Oh,
I didn't-
wow, a mug that says dad.
No. It's like it's your present that he's opened, and then he's like, oh. And you're like, bro, you got it. I know you bought it. I never had that with my old man, but yeah, I've seen it happen to people.
I hear you.
Nah, just, I don't know. The insanity of like, hey, at the right time, say the right thing. And Putin's just like, Black Jesus. Out of everything. Out of everything that fella could have gone. And not even, he doubled down and was like, no, they're all black. They're all of them.
All the
of them.
apostles and stuff, bro? Is that
The
what he
whole
said?
Bible, everything.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
I
Whole
thought
story.
a bunch of them were true.
He doesn't mention them.
Okay.
Well, maybe later when it's no one's around or something and he's having a few whiskeys, he might mention them, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of rivals the Russia-Ukraine conflict, the Israel-Hamas conflict.
Yeah.
They're both
like a
competing for the limelight. You got
It's
the
like-
old dogs
like a competition.
fighting in the north.
Yeah, it's interesting watching like people who were like, "Fuck you, they should give back the hostages," and now they're just like, "Fucking hell!" Like watching people do that is really, really hard.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, poor fellas. You know, you're on your side, and then they take it a little far. And you're sitting there being like, "I don't really know what to say now." It's pretty wretched just to have all this crazy shit going on, like. Having to explain to someone the other day that Ukraine has those drones, which are just like lawnmowers,
Lawnmowers,
with grenades.
bro. Yeah, like a lawnmower engine. Yeah, and they they got a drone on them and they just drop a grenade.
Yeah. Doosh. I think we should have one more break, and then we're going to kick into some tunnels.
Oh, hell yeah.
All goods. We'll be
The
back
year
soon.
is 2046. Almost none of us are left. Those of us who do survive are here in the tunnels. Tunnel talk.
Tunnel talk, everybody.
It's fucking good, eh? Every time.
Can you hear my wife in the background?
No.
Well, I didn't have like a spot to record.
That's brilliant.
That's crack up.
Okay. So, this is going to be a bit different from our other tunnel talks because this time I went on to our Instagram and our Messenger and shit, and you could put little notes on the top of your icon.
Okay.
I used to like putting, "This guy sucks," and just...
And an
put
arrow to the guy.
Yeah.
Sure.
Stupid joke, really funny. But I put, "Send us in your tunnel stories," not thinking we would get anything. Well, we got heaps. And some of them were really awesome. So I want to give shout-outs to the people that sent us in some stuff.
Nice.
First one, and this is just their names that were on their Facebooks on the messages we got them. So Jeremiah Sign Graham, I'm probably saying it wrong.
Sure.
I used to smoke that mean-ass weed in the old tunnels on Miramar Peninsula. And then one day I went to smoke a mean-ass cone at my old haunt in the tunnel, and they'd finally collapsed it. I was gutted as.
Oh, man.
It's like an old yellow of a tunnel
Yeah,
story.
that's sad.
Like it got put down right at the end. He does emphasize mean-ass
dude
weed
lost
and
his weed
mean-ass
tunnel.
code, which we might need to get in touch with that guy. But anyway,
Okay.
the second one, we had, my boss went to Vietnam and went to the tunnels. And actually,
What did he think? What was his impression of it?
it changed him as a dude.
Yes.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah, it changed him as a dude. He reckons all of Vietnam was very eye-opening.
Yeah.
But the tunnels really, really buzzed him out. And he got to go in them. And anyway, he got some photos of us. I've put them on Facebook. I'll put some more up. But he was just amazed. And the traps that they have, like they have working versions of the traps.
That's so sick.
And how somebody had gone after a B-52 had dropped a massive bomb. Someone went out and measured the crater depth and came back and was like, we need to go like 3 meters deeper. And that's why they have double layer tunnels all through Vietnam, was because they used to have the one level.
Yeah.
And then those things showed up and they were like, oh, well, we'll just go under the blast radius of that.
Yo.
And, yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, but then what's real freaky is when it's like the school, the hospital, the training ground, like the
Yeah.
firing range,
Yes,
like
sir.
just these fully functioning communities. And yeah, he buzzed out. He buzzed right out. But so we got some cool photos of that. But we got a message, from a person who said, "Yo, I went to Vietnam. I went in the tunnels, and the girl in front of me had a bat fly into her hair." Ooh. And I was like, "That's fucking scary as shit." And I ended up getting these photos from my boss, and I posted one on our Facebook. And that same guy responded with, "Hey, that's actually the same tunnel where the girl got the bat in the hair."
Oh shit!
He then goes on to say, "Why do I tell these stories? Because a bat got stuck in a girl's hair. The reason I tell stories about bats getting stuck in a girl's hair is because it feels like the sort of story that humans have been telling for 20,000 years, and I like to feel connected to something." So, big ups Richard Wood. Oh, I've just realized something about his name that I'm not going to say live. But
well, I'm sure he never would have heard anything like that before, right?
Yep. And the last one we got was from Big Ben Whip from Inhale.
Sure.
Bro, I remember having to volunteer for an exercise with the Masterton District Council. It was one night I had to do it because I was a handful at ATC, the Air Training Corps.
Yes.
Because I ended up having to crawl under the Masterton infrastructure about 30 meters deep and then let them find me.
30 meters deep?
Yeah.
That's keen.
Masterton has apparently got a huge underground system. I know that the movie theater has one because we have a mutual friend, Big Bob, and he had to go down and work on all the bowling machines under there. So that's validated. There's
tunnels under the bowling machines?
No, there's tunnels under the movie theater where they store the bowling machines for the bowling alley.
Yeah.
Huge. The guy that bought it had to go and sort it out from under there. It's fucking freaky. But Big Rob, was one of the ones who did it. But anyway, he had to crawl 30 meters deep and let them find him. When he was finally in a location, they asked if he was all good and then left him, hoping that the crisis team who was training would find him. He had a good idea, though, to move from the actual location, as he thought it would make a better exercise. But moving around in the dark was hard because those tunnels were dark as fuck.
He doesn't have a torch?
Nope. When they found him, he was 3 kilometers underground, like from where he was. Like 30 meters deep, 3 Ks.
You're telling me there are 3 kilometers of tunnels under Masterton?
Yeah, bro. I'm going to try and get us in there. And they had to call the actual emergency guys to come and find him, not the fake ones that had led him down there for training.
Yeah.
So just so you guys know, your cities are a lot bigger than you think, folks.
Yo.
And you won't they won't find you if you go down there, even if they act like they will. Don't push your luck. How cool is that, bro?
That's such a baller move to be like, they're looking for me anyways. What better time to explore the tunnels?
Yes.
But doing it with no light source, to me, is insane.
There's a lot of questions from that story, and I've queued him up as one of our upcoming interviews.
Okay, that could be a good interview.
He's got a cool band, and he can push a bit of that, but we want to hear this tunnel shit, mate. That's what we want to hear. So that's our fan submissions from my side. Did you have a fan submission or anything?
I don't know, man. I've been feeling the vibe of the community.
It's turning into a community.
Yeah,
I've had
bro.
3 people laugh and go, ha, you've started a cult. It's like, yeah, except I don't want to fuck your missus. So it's not really a cult. Yeah. We get enough power.
Wait, who's missus? No.
Everyone's. No.
I don't know. People have said nice things to me lately. That they've been laughing at it, and
it's been awesome.
Really appreciate it.
Big ups to all you fellas.
Yeah,
the amount of people we're getting cool messages and stories and
one
photos.
person said that they were trying to get their girlfriend to listen to it, and to me that is very high praise.
Yep.
Yeah.
Last shout out we had was Dillbag Te Wonder Wizard sent us an awesome photo of him under in a tunnel in Vienna, I think. If I'm wrong, I'll change it and show you on the photo. But
okay,
we got some cool shit. So if anyone else has got tunnel photos or stories, send them the fuck in because this is cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
It's sick. Yeah. I wonder if it's a response to asking Dan last week, like, "Hey man, you have any like cool tunneling stories?" And he's like, "Not really." And people are listening at home, like, "I have done them, guys. I have them."
Yes, I hope that's exactly what happened. Yeah. So yeah, let us know. Do you want me to go first with my tunnels, or do you want to go? Do you want to jump in?
I've got maybe a bit of a record breaker over here. We've got a couple. I've got like a flavor one, right? You remember Streets? Streets, yes. Formerly known as Roadie.
Yes.
Well, he sent in a fantastic submission, and it was about subarctic tunnels, like under the ice sheets at the poles. They've found that these are, so they're not man-made tunnels, they're like environmentally made tunnels from water slushing around.
Tunnels.
It's the size of them, bro. They're like as high as the Eiffel Tower. So these are massive tunnels that are like, I don't know, how big's a sports stadium that has a roof on it? Like way fucking bigger than that, and it's all naturally formed out
like
of ice from water running through it, but so much bigger. Yeah, crazy. And in terms of like, nobody made it, but in terms of all the tunnels I've ever thought about, when you close your eyes and think of it, that's my favorite one.
Everybody chill. That's hilarious. Yeah, no, that's cool, but it breaks your rule because that's God's tunnels.
That is one of God's tunnels, but I liked it. But I liked it enough.
Or is there evidence to suggest some weird conspiracy shit? Like, is Streets not just like telling us about the plot of Alien vs Predator 1?
Maybe he might have dug that tunnel.
He might.
Dude, I don't know.
Yeah. Cool though. Cool.
Yeah. What kind of tunnel talk do you have for us this week?
Well, I've gone on a weird rabbit hole. Found this
Do
thing,
tell.
the Sylvania tunnels. Now, main reason I wanted to check it out because it sounds like Castlevania, the game, had great music about vampires and shit. But apparently these tunnels are under Melbourne. And when I started looking into it, it was very like, hey, is this, am I being punked? Is this dodgy? Is this not making sense? Not sure. And anyway, it's cool. There's some awesome footage, and it appears real.
Footage of what?
Him going in a tunnel.
Describe what it looks like in there.
Like a fucked up old mine shaft.
Right.
But as he gets further into it, there's like bridges, like metal frames and pipes with water going through them and all sorts of shit. And it looks like he's stumbling into this underground city. And then a couple videos in, he's on the news. Like the news is talking about this guy who found this underground city under Melbourne.
Okay.
So it's real. Like there's some legitimate shit backing this up.
You say it's on the news, so it's real?
No. Okay, sorry. I said that wrong. It did sound like that. No, it's like the news. There's this other thing from a museum, a couple of other things, and his team that is like seems pretty. This is what I mean. It seems legit.
Yeah.
But then there's a few on that it's like, oh, then we found this crazy insert the most insane shit you've ever heard, and you're like, is this real?
What was that insane shit?
Alien isolation chamber under Sydney. And I'm like, this is all shit.
There we go.
This is all shit. But if it's all shit, where the fuck is this tunnel that he's gone down and found? He's found this fucking chamber. Like there's video to it.
Yeah. People know, right? Somebody knows this. Somebody would go, I've fucking been there. That's
and
here.
One of his things was like, they're going with the city, not the chamber thing. They go down this tunnel, it's real tight, and then it opens up huge.
Yeah.
And it's just this perfect like circle all the way down. And he abseils down. Like he ropes down, and then he's filming his mate rope down.
Yeah.
And he just keeps walking back. And the dude looks tiny coming down this massive tunnel. But I don't know, it's natural. I don't get it. It's
not Howard's Hole, is it?
Nah,
there's a hole in the South Island at the top of the South Island.
Under Melbourne.
It's Melbourne.
Yeah, and it's... Yeah, I keep looking and
there are like big circular pits in the ground places.
Yeah, they happen. I know, that's what I'm saying, but they don't happen, and then you land, and then there's like pipes and shit.
Yeah. It sounds a bit...
Yeah, it seems too good to be true, is what I'll say. Is like looking it up, I was like, fuck, this is mean. His name is Jez Dog on TikTok. That's where I found it. And then it gets a bit more conspiracy-minded than I really want to get into. But, yeah, the tunnels that he's showing and where they are.
But you don't think there's alien isolation chambers, right?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Why do you think the tunnels that he's showing are real then?
Because I saw the tunnels first. That's what I'm saying. I saw the tunnels and was like, fuck, this is cool. And then I saw the alien thing. I was like, is it? If I'd seen the alien shit first and then saw the tunnels, I'd be like, yeah, you're the same cunt talking about the aliens.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what's mucked me up here.
Yeah, but you could think, yeah. Yeah.
Just because I saw the tunnel first and I was like, fuck, this looks legit as.
Yeah.
And I was digging through all this shit and I Wikipedia'd other stuff about these tunnels under Melbourne, and they are called the Sylvania tunnels, and there's some weird Sylvania family in Melbourne, and I stopped there because that always gets stupid. But there's heaps of it checks out, but then it gets stupid, and you're like, what is this? And it's interesting. You should have a look, see if you can find anything and rip it apart for me, because I couldn't. Yeah.
It sounds like bullshit soup.
Yeah. But with like letters in it that just tell lies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real hard.
Have you got a sick like tunnel video to show me? I would watch that.
I can show you, once we jump off here, I'll show you, because it's enough that I was like, hey, hang on. There's something up here. Got anything else?
Yeah, I was looking at some record breakers. Do you remember? I don't remember if it was in the last couple of weeks that we talked about a guy who was growing... he was doing like aquaponics, like subterranean aquaponics, trying to grow food underground. Before he did this guy was doing a feasibility study for what's called the Finest Tunnel. So it's a tunnel that links Finland and Estonia that goes under the Gulf there, and it would be an 80-kilometer long subterranean tunnel, which would make it the like under the water. So that would make it the longest rail tunnel in the world. So currently that's Gotthard, I think it's called.
Yeah.
It's in Switzerland, that goes like in a straight line for 57 kilometers through a mountain. This one would go under the sea for 80. One of the things that was interesting about it to me is if something happens in the middle, all the things that you need to deal with it are going to be maybe up to 40 kilometers away. Like there's just what they have to do is they start putting fire stations, like manned fire stations in the tunnels. But if something else is needed, like somebody needs to be evacuated or whatever, or to get materials in, like by the time you're building 30 kilometers into the tunnel, everything you bring in, you have to bring in for 30 kilometers.
Yeah.
So what they're trying to do is, or at least what they talked about in the feasibility study, is using the spoil to make artificial islands. So what the tunnel boring machine is carving out, they pile that up around a tube or whatever, and they make artificial islands so they can have bases that are only like, maybe a kilometer from the tunnel in actual distance. Yeah.
That's some hyper nerd shit, dude.
Yeah, that is hyper nerd shit, right? Like if you tunnels can solve your problems, but the bigger you make them, the more problems there are.
And you've got to be the fucking Iron Man of tunnels to work that shit out.
Yeah, bro.
Because even that, like you sit there for fucking 4 days ripping your hair out, and some fucking dude walks in. He's like, "Well, why don't we take all the stuff we took out when we built the tunnel and made an island?" And everyone in the room's just like, Cause you can't. That's why, dick. And he's like, well, if we got a tube and you did this and this and this, you make islands, and then you could establish a base, and it'd only take a kilometer. We could actually make a tunnel down, and you could just make a lift.
Yeah.
And you just sit there being like, fucking cunt. I hope it's a tunnelologist that comes up with that solution.
I don't know if they're called that.
They're totally not. We went on a massive run about how you can't put words in front of ology and expect people to understand you.
You're right.
That's why I brought up Metal Tower, and old Blackbeard got a heart on.
Yeah. So this would be 80 kilometers. I think the current record is about 26. It's also in one of those Scandinavian countries. The Rogfast Tunnel is what it's called.
That's mental,
yeah. Yes, that's pretty wild. That's cool. Open. It's supposed to be succeeded by a slightly longer and deeper one. So that's it's 400 meters below sea level. It goes for about 30 Ks. It's not open yet. Like everything, it had like big cost overruns and time overruns.
That's, yeah. Some of this, like, fucking, I have a dream. What the fuck? Sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, no, we're good. I thought I had something else up, but we're sweet. All good. I think I'm done. I've got enough stuff out. Have you got more records?
No, I'm all good, bro.
We just hit our mark. And we try not to go too much past that.
Yeah. Let's keep it tight, shall we?
High and tight.
Yeah.
That's your mum's house studios.
Happy
That's their thing.
10 things.
Yeah, we made it to 10.
I don't want
I don't know, I was going to try and say something motivating, but it's just dumb. Nah, cheers for listening. Thanks heaps. Keep sending your stories and it's fucking cool.
Yeah.
And,
I
tell me one.
just want
Later.
to hear the tunneling part. In my heart I have but one desire, an underground tube, the dank and the